Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's honestly a total game changer. We're talking about the ultimate system that dictates your success, your daily energy, and, well, your entire future. We're looking at science-backed morning habits pulled straight from some incredible insights by the Inspire Path. So, if you constantly feel like you're just fighting an uphill battle every single day, hitting snooze, rushing out the door, and feeling totally behind before you even start, then stick around, because this is absolutely for you. And don't worry, this isn't about forcing yourself up at some ungodly hour just to suffer. It's really about reclaiming your time and energy through smart, proven strategies. All right, let's just dive right in.
Have you ever woken up and immediately asked yourself, why in the world do I feel tired before the day even starts? I mean, we've all been there, right? We've all felt that heavy exhaustion, just staring at the ceiling, feeling totally overwhelmed before we've even managed to get our feet out of bed. We negotiate with the alarm clock, we wonder why our big goals feel so insanely far away, and we just kind of drag ourselves into the bathroom feeling defeated. But here's the major liberating takeaway from our source material today. You aren't broken. You are not inherently tired all the time, and you're definitely not permanently stuck in this fog. The simple truth? You just lack morning discipline. You just haven't built the guardrails to protect your energy yet.
The core premise we're unpacking today is pretty bold. Your mornings dictate your future. Literally. Every single morning you wake up, you face a massive fork in the road. One choice actively builds the future you want. It sets this amazing tone of victory and momentum. But the other choice? Well, that keeps you exactly where you are, stuck in a rut, constantly playing catch-up with your own life. The argument here is incredibly empowering, though. When you fix your mornings, your entire life simply stops fighting you. Think of it as the ultimate domino effect. If you just knock down that first domino correctly, the rest of the day falls right into place effortlessly.
Let's look at what a typical morning looks like mapped out. This timeline vividly shows how a total lack of control creates this huge, cascading effect of lost energy and focus. Just look at how this unfolds. At 7 a.m., the blaring alarm goes off and boom, you hit snooze. You've basically already surrendered your first battle of the day. By 7:15 a.m., you're awake, but you immediately reach for your phone to start scrolling. That instantly drains your willpower before your feet even hit the floor. Fast forward to 10 o'clock a.m., and you are hit with a brutal sugar crash and serious brain fog. You're desperately reaching for your second, maybe third cup of coffee or a sugary pastry just to survive the next meeting. It's this vicious, exhausting cycle that just keeps you running on empty. And the sheer scale of this problem is staggering. According to the source, a whopping 90% of people sabotage their day right at the very start. Look at that massive 90% chunk. That is almost all of us reaching for our phones the literal second our eyes open. Only a tiny 10% fraction actually manage to retain their morning focus and ignore all that digital noise. The moment you grab that device, all those notifications, emails, and social media feeds just slowly siphon your focus away. You're immediately reacting to other people's emergencies. Within minutes, your brain is totally hijacked, your energy is completely drained, and your clarity? Poof, it disappears entirely.
Okay, let's get into the solution framework. Phase 1, time control.
The first habit in this foundational phase is absolutely not about joining the extreme hustle culture. You don't have to force yourself to wake up at 4 a.m. while the rest of the world sleeps. It's actually way more practical than that. It's simply this: master a consistent wake-up time. Wake up at the exact same time every single day. Yeah, even on weekends. This isn't just a basic time management trick. It's about building a firm foundation of control and regulating your body's internal clock. Because when you master your wake-up time, you master yourself. You stop negotiating with your comfort. As the source points out, you really aren't training the alarm clock. You're training your mind to keep the promises you'd make to yourself.
That brings us to habit 2, which tackles that massive 90% statistic we just talked about. This habit requires you to totally banish the phone for the first hour of your day. No exceptions. Seriously, leave it in another room if you have to. Instead of letting a glowing screen hijack your brain, win that first hour with simple, intentional, real-world actions. Make your bed to secure an immediate, super easy win. Drink a tall glass of water to rehydrate your system. Step outside, get into the sunlight, and naturally signal to your brain that it's time to be alert. This single, intentional choice dictates your entire day. Win the first hour, because the person who wins the morning has already won the day for sure.
Moving right along, let's look at Phase 2, body fuel. The third habit completely redefines how we view morning exercise. And honestly, this is a huge relief for a lot of people. Look at this definition of movement. It's not necessarily about intense fitness, hitting personal records, or suffering through grueling 6 a.m. gym sessions. No, it is simply about activation. You don't need to run a marathon. Most mornings, people do the exact opposite. They sit perfectly still, scroll through their feeds, and basically shut their physical system back down. But the very moment you introduce movement, whether it's 10 push-ups, a brisk 5-minute walk, or even just aggressively shaking out your limbs, you wake up your entire system. You raise your oxygen levels, flood your body with endorphins, and your energy simply turns on.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point, captured perfectly in the quote, "Motion creates emotion." Sitting completely still in the morning is essentially a slow death for your daily productivity and your mood. Highly successful people truly understand this biological reality. They know they can't wait to feel awake or wait to feel inspired. No way. They move first and think later to generate immediate clarity and energy. Action always precedes feeling. If you want to feel alive, alert, and ready to tackle complex problems, you literally have to physically move your body out of that stagnation.
The fourth habit shifts our focus to the actual fuel we put in our bodies. You need to eat protein at breakfast. Let's be real for a second. Most people treat their bodies like a trash can in the morning. We load up on empty carbs, sugary cereals, and sweet pastries that offer zero sustained nutrition. But the source strongly advocates for a high-protein breakfast instead. Things like a solid bowl of Greek yogurt, a protein shake, or just a couple of boiled eggs. You've got to fuel your body like a well-calibrated machine. It's a pretty simple truth. If you eat like you don't matter, you're going to feel and live like you don't matter. Now notice the stark physiological contrast here. On the left side, a sugar-heavy breakfast gives you a super quick, deceptive spike in energy. You feel fantastic for about 30 minutes. But that spike is inevitably followed by a brutal crash by 10 a.m., leaving you totally unable to focus and just craving more junk food. On the right side, though, the protein breakfast stabilizes your blood sugar. It gives you sustained energy control, keeps you comfortably full for hours, feeds your muscles, and ultimately sharpens your mind for the deep work you need to do. It's just a completely different, vastly superior way to kick off your day.
Finally, we reach our last section, Phase 3, Mental Execution.
The fifth and final habit challenges us to attack the hardest, scariest task first. We call this eating the frog. Most people spend their prime, highly focused morning hours actively avoiding discomfort, right? We answer low-priority emails, we check our messages, we do trivial, busy work just to feel that illusion of being productive. But you need to do the thing you're avoiding before the emails, before the meetings, and before your brain even has time to negotiate with you. Attack the task that actually moves the needle in your life. Just do the real work dynamically, right out of the gate.
To really understand why this specific timing is absolutely crucial, the source uses this powerful metaphor. Your willpower is a battery. Think about it. Your internal battery is fully charged right when you wake up from a good night's sleep. But every single minor decision, every little distraction, every email response, and every mindless scroll slowly drains that charge. Decision fatigue is a very real thing. If you wait until 2 p.m. to do your hardest, most cognitively demanding task, your battery is already dead. You just won't have the mental resilience to push through the resistance.
This brings us to a really crucial comparison between motivation and discipline. People are constantly waiting around for motivation to strike before doing the hard work. But motivation is fleeting. It's exactly like a passing cloud. It relies entirely on how you feel in any given moment, what the weather's like outside, or how much sleep you got. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a heavy iron barbell. It is exceptionally reliable. It executes without emotion and does the heavy lifting every single day, rain or shine. You do not need motivation to succeed, you just need the repetition and discipline to protect that first hour and execute the plan.
When we stack these 5 habits together, so mastering your wake-up time, banning the phone for the first hour, activating the body with movement, fueling with high-quality protein, and attacking the hardest task first, it's no longer just a list of random life hacks. It transforms into a cohesive, unshakable system. It is built brick by brick, morning by morning, creating an absolute fortress around your productivity. Because the life, the career, and the health you want, it isn't built in a single day of massive effort. It's built consistently, every single morning, in that pivotal first hour.
So this brings us to a final thought for you to reflect on. Will you continue to let poor habits dictate your fatigue, surrendering to the snooze button and letting your mornings drain you? Or will you take full control of this system to build your future in the quiet hours when no one is watching? The choice is entirely yours, but it starts the exact moment your alarm rings tomorrow. What will your first hour look like? Thanks for learning with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.